But he's French, so you know, I feel like sometimes it's almost an advantage.
It's in their genes. They tend to be, maybe if anything, a slightly more conservative, not as kind of pedal to the metal as some of the other divers. He's also one of the few who uses these speed suits that leave the arms and shoulders free. They're very, very thin. I don't think it's got any neoprene in it, so no buoyancy, but it's just designed to give compression to the limbs so that it keeps them in a uniform shape and improves your form hydrodynamics as well as the surface hydrodynamics.
Yeah, these things are banned in swimming in the Olympics now, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Need to get one. And how's that for the temperature, do you think?
For here, it should be fine. So the water here in the Bahamas is so warm that I don't think he's going to have any issues. You can see he's got his hand on his mouth to kind of extend his mouthful. So what he's doing there is he's filled his cheeks and he's used his hand to make sure the air doesn't escape because there's so much pressure in those cheeks for the air wanting to come back out. So that allows him to get through that first phase until the air in the cheeks compresses without losing any of that air out of the mouth.
Thank you to Lily Crespi, by the way, who's answering some of your questions in the comments.
Cheers, Lily. Thank you.
Yeah.
So, Eddy is making good time, 130 to 90 meters.
So a bit slower than Arnaud. He's sort of more typical speed, about a meter a second in his descent.
100 meters. 140. Touchdown.
Yeah. It's collected the tag very smoothly. And he's kicking at first with his hands down. We'll see if he keeps that approach for the whole ascent. But it might just be that he's protecting his lungs and then he's going to switch to having an arms up.
Yeah, we had an interesting talk actually with Bizu, which who's doing some work with the lady who was just interviewed at the beach, and he was telling us about, you know, instances of squeezing quite a lot. It happens when you're reaching for the bottom plate. If you haven't got that flexibility, that's a classic place for it to be affected at depth when you're under a lot of compression.
Any exertion at depth, yeah, stretching or exerting yourself overly can influence it for sure. So he's up in a streamlined position now, kicking pretty quickly.
Yeah, he's fast, no?
I think so. It's going to be a pretty quick dive for this depth.
Yeah, he's got a nice position now. It's like locked between the top and bottom. Oh, nose clips off. Looking a little hypoxic, maybe.
A little bit indecisive about when to bring his hands down. Maybe his arms. Okay. It looks like he's struggling at this point, and the safeties are going to grab him.
Yeah, that air escaping there is a classic giveaway. Safety are on him though. They're doing such a good job. All right, Eddy.
So he's fine now. That dive was just a little bit out of his reach today.